Our research question was, how do different types of music affect the dopamine levels in your brain? And what we focused on during our research project was more so on different types of music that you like versus different types of music you don't like, and not as much comparing different genres.
Study done by the BBC, it was found that when people listen to music they like, they have a 9% higher dopamine level. And how they knew that people like the music, like when they're at their highest point of happiness from the music, is they felt chills down their spine or just chills in general. And if they didn't feel this, it was either they didn't like the music or they weren't at the maximum level they could be from the music. And to stop air from this, like maybe they liked the music but they didn't like the voices, it was only instrumental music. And this showed that music is a basic biological standard.
In 2013, U.S. National Liberty of Medicine did a study where they proved that children who are musically trained when they were younger had a lot better listening skills when they grew older than children who weren't musically trained when they were younger. Also proven in this study is that music can help you focus unless you are doing tasks that include reading and writing, whereas music with lyrics can be problematic to the brain. Out in Columbia University, they developed a medicine that can track the movements and activity of the brain while listening to music. The most important part about listening to music is not your preference, but is having an emotional connection.
In a study done by McGill University, they took patients that had them listen to music. And during this time, the patients felt like they were on opioids. It was because endorphins were being released from the brain. And how they proved this was they gave them medicine that blocked the endorphins, but to the patients, they didn't feel really that happy anymore until they stopped taking the medicine. And when doing this, it showed that it actually was the endorphins. And also, near the end of the study, some patients said that they didn't feel the same happiness from a song, and that could be a cause by them building up a resistance to the endorphins. And that's like what happens with cocaine, except it's not nearly as bad. What they might have said was that they didn't feel the same happiness during their first chords, which is usually when you feel the most happy during a song.
And I made a list of genres that we didn't like. And then we went on Spotify and found a specific playlist that included those genres. And on Thursday of that week, we went and listened to those genres during and between each period and tracked and monitored how we felt. We did this because we couldn't find any solid sources online on genres that you don't like and how it affects your brain, so we chose to do our own research.
First period, I listened to K-pop. It was better than I expected, but I still didn't like it. I felt in a bad mood most of the day. Like, not most of the day, most of the time I was listening to it. And then second period, it was classical, which was better than I expected. And it kind of lifted me up a little bit. It was decent. Third period, I listened to country, and that's kind of pissed me off. I don't know. I don't like modern country, which is what we were listening to. Old country, I think, is okay. And then fourth period, I listened to techno, which I like more than I expected to. And it kind of lifted me up a bit. I can't listen to music fifth period because in fitness class we're not allowed to for safety reasons. Sixth period I listen to gospel. I don't like that either because I just don't like the praising in it, which is mostly what it is. And then seventh period, we listen to death metal, and I like a little bit of metal, but it was just too much for me, and I kind of felt down after listening to it.
Throughout the course of my day, I listened to classical music, K-pop, death metal, and gospel. The rest of my periods I wasn't allowed to listen to music in, so I won't be recording about how I felt in those periods. But the periods that I was allowed to listen to music, I'll be telling you about. Second period in Western Civ, I listened to K-pop, and there was a bit awkward vibe. I don't really like K-pop, but I don't hate it, so it was just a bit awkward. And then third period in math, I only got to listen to a little bit, and that was country. And I'm not a big country fan, so it was kind of, it just didn't really make me feel too good. And then fourth period is my PE class, and I listened to classical music. It was a bit awkward vibe between running and doing physical activity and slow classical music, so I didn't really like that. And then my last period drawing, I listened to death metal, and it felt painful.
So in conclusion, when you listen to music you do like, it releases dopamine levels and you feel better. But as me and Peter showed in our study, when you listen to music you don't like, you lose dopamine levels and you feel a bit more tense.
We going?
That's it, go with the blooper.